so critical for an elite big man to be great. It's like you can't be that big and that good and not have good footwork,
well,
right?
You know what? Part of being that good is that you have, good footwork.
Yes.
A lot of the counters, a lot of the post work, you're opening up. You having to use the backboard. That's a certain way you got to open up to be able to get that shot off. If you're left-handed, you got to be able to do it off of both ways. It's very complex, but footwork is a big part of it. You have to have it. It's impeccable, and the ones that don't have it struggle.
And now the Golden State Warriors starters. Down low, it's Green and Cousins. Curry and Thompson are the 1 and the 2. And it's Durant in at the 3, the small forward. Tatum's shot is off. And here's Golden State. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Celtics team.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
I mean, who knows? If you want to look all the way ahead to the finals, it's possible these teams could see each other there. So both teams looking to make a statement in their first meeting of the season.
Wasted no time on that one. Green's got the game going with his first points of the game for the Warriors. Smart kicks to Horford. Morris outside. From deep. Nice D from Cousins. The Warriors have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. No good there. And it's Boston the other way. Coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
You know what? It's a fine line between attacking but yet staying under control. And they did, and that's why they shot such a high percentage.
Well, they worked through their plays until they found some decent looks, and then they did a great job finishing.
Irving kicks to Smart. Curry against Irving. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Irving is just so confident at handling the rock, and why shouldn't he be? His moves are untouchable.
Curry with it. 38 points for him last game against Washington.
And so many of his points came at the line. The D was trying to play him physical, and he just said, yeah, bring it on.
Now here's Durant. Clock at 6. Green, the pass to Cousins. From outside, off the mark.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Horford against Cousins. Here's Irving. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Oh, man. How about that vision from Horford? I mean, it's all about hitting the open man. High efficiency offense right there.
Thompson outside. Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Durant for 3. The rebound by the Celtics. Outside Tatum. Here's Morris. And the rejection by Cousins.
And one of the things Cousins has continued to develop is defense. Really makes an effort to swat that shot away.
The offensive rebound. Count it. Thompson's got his first points of the game.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Now here's Irving. He seems to always be finding ways to score, averaging around 23.5 points a game. And the rejection by Curry.
Oh, look at that. You see, that shows what kind of athlete Curry is. His quickness to the ball. Get that shot out of here.
The Warriors shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
And you really got to give them a ton of credit for what they've done at the free throw line this season. How about 82% as a unit?
And the first one drops. And Kevin, you think about the importance of veteran mentorship for young players looking back Who provided that mentorship for you?
Sam Mitchell, Terry Porter, shout to Doug West, shout to J.R. Ryder, shout to, Christian Laettner. All these were my vets, both good and bad. I'm learning something from all these guys. Shout to Kevin McHale, shout to, rest in peace to the great Flip Saunders. These are all my vets who helped me progress as a guy and as a player. More importantly, took me under their wing, taught me finances, taught me about life, taught me how to be a young man, taught me about being professional, learning this book of business when it came to basketball, because when it comes to lockouts and all that stuff, when you have to be able to talk and negotiate your own stuff, you got to know the rules and know what it is. A lot of people don't know that the league is 2/3 of council, and you got to stay above that and understand how this whole monster works. And then if you want to be in the elite, you got to dedicate yourself in the gym. You got to dedicate yourself in the business. If you're trying to be a brand of something, you have to do all these things. When you look at Jordan, you look at Kobe, you look at these brands out here, these, LeBron has a brand, KD has a brand. You have to invest in yourself to be able to, grow this. This is the elite. I'm not talking about average. I'm not talking about good. I'm not talking about great. This is the elite. These are people that's going to be on and people that you're going to remember, for years to come.
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot on the plate, though.
True legendary.
The Warriors making a switch here. Jerebko's checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
The free throw off from Horford.
Earning more and more recognition for all the things he does. Horford's finally gone from underrated to appreciated.
And there are the Warriors now with another bucket.
Hey, look, he's not an easy man to defend. He'll get his points one way or another.
Outside Tatum. He feeds it to Morris. Irving with the ball. He's against Jerebko. Irving, good. Irving's got 6.
So smooth in everything he does. Irving will score the ball from anywhere.
Kevin, you did the unusual. Your senior year in high school, you transferred not just to another city, but to another state where you were named the high school player of the year across the country. Tell us a bit about the importance of that personally and playing-wise to you.
Well, going to a new place, I wanted to establish myself in a big city like Chicago, coming from a small place like South Carolina. It was a shock at first. And what I mean by shock, I just never estimated that many good players being in one central area. Chicago has tons of talent that's unheard of. And all I wanted to do is just have a presence there. And it was a bit of a task, but, slowly but surely I gave myself short goals. To be number one is always a goal of mine, but more importantly, to be established, for everybody to know that, this is Kevin Garnett. This is who he is. This is what he's about. And, I used to wear that on my shoulder. I've always took a lot of pride in myself and how I prepare. And I wanted everybody to know in the city of Chicago that I was there.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Smart. 9-point game his last outing. Here's Horford, and he lays it straight in. Horford's got his second basket of the game.
Well, you can't forget about Horford. I mean, carving out space inside for the putback.
It's Durant on the wing. Over Tatum. Durant, no good. Celtics trail by 3. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, I was able to speak with Brad Stevens for just a minute. He said even though this was their first meeting of the year, he did not expect there to be a filling out period between these teams. He said, we have a group of guys who can score and do it in a hurry. We're going to go right at them and test their defense early on. Looks like they're in attack mode. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thanks for the report, David. So it's all about getting their offense going early on.
And I think that's the right call, guys. Get that rhythm established at the offensive end as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah, I agree, because they have to be the team that dictates the style of play in this game. I mean, they'll be much better off in a shootout instead of a slugfest.
And a new group in for the Celtics. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Marcus Morris. Hayward comes in for Tatum. Jaylen Brown's checked in for Marcus Smart. And Terry Rozier subbed in for Kyrie Irving. Golden State also making some changes. Kevon Looney is checked in for Cousins. Iguodala comes in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Kev, talk about the characteristics needed to be a winner in this league.
Appetite. How much do you want this? Can you push through that pain right there? Are you going to dive on the floor? You're going to do the small things. You know, you're going to double down. You're going to be in the spot when you're supposed to, when you're supposed to be there. You know my bads. You know, all this goes into winning. And then you need a little luck. You do. And you need an appetite. You need 15 guys that's willing to push through anything at any moment. That's the difficult part of winning.
On the same page.
On the same page, all 15 thinking the same thing.
It sounds daunting.
Listen, people think that, oh, man, why can't you have 15? Because it's 15 guys thinking 15 totally different things. And that's the difficult part of being a coach. That's what I'm saying. Being a coach is one of the hardest things to be because you got to take 15 perspectives and get them all on one and then go forward with the same velocity like you wanted to. It's frustrating.
And getting a quick head of steam. Iguodala beats the defense to the punch.
Rozier kicks to Brown. The Celtics working the ball around now. Here's Baines. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Livingston dishes to Durant. Off target with his three.
Some very slack defending. Playing with fire to leave him that open beyond the arc.
Rozier looking around. Dishes it to Brown. Pass to Baines. The jump hook. The shot's good. Now just a 3-point Warrior lead. And so it's Livingston bringing it up now for the Golden State Warriors. Durant for three. They get it back. Looney. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass. Getting it done.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Now here's Hayward. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Baines. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Love the grit on the offensive glass. Those are just effort points.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
This season, 88% on the line, so he has been in a comfort zone.
Quinn Cook's checked in for your Rebco.
One shot.
KG, you had so much success as a high school player. In fact, you were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. How about that, huh? How about I can see the picture in my mind's eye right now.
Kev, that fell in my lap, man. That wasn't something that I was striving for, but who doesn't want to be on the cover of anything? And nonetheless, SI, and I was more than giddy-eyed and glitz or whatever you want to call it. Listen, very special moment for me. A lot of people don't know you have to get permission to be in certain neighborhoods, and we got permission to be in the neighborhood. We got the shooter right there in front of Farragut, which is very dear to me because of the transformation and the stuff that I have been through and where I was at. You know, I hold Farragut a very, 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 very special place in my heart. So it was important for me to have it on the cover.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Boston, no good that time either. Warriors leading by 4. Here's Durant. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Durant's got 6.
Can't allow that kind of positioning, especially for a guy like Durant. So effective with his length inside.
Brown outside. There's a minute left here in the opening quarter. 5 to shoot. And the call will be against Sean Livingston. That's his first foul. .51 seconds left in the first quarter. Brown the pass to Hayward. Clock at 4. From deep.
And Iguodala's ability to match up at a number of positions, that's just a big part of his defense right now.
Can't get it to fall, and he's missed the second after making his first. Hayward against Iguodala. Hayward kicks to Rozier. 19 seconds left here in the first quarter. The layup off target. Warriors leading by 6. Iguodala the pass to Cook. Passes to Durant. Good on the shot. 8 points for him.
He got pretty much a free run to the hoop right there. They might just count those as automatic points.
And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for the Golden State Warriors. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. One of the most talented big men in the game, DeMarcus Cousins, talked about his maturation over time.
Being a player that thought he knew it all, thought he was the best thing walking, and you know, I think I'm from a rookie to, you know, a veteran.
And you know, Greg, you see it on the floor now when Cousins keeps his emotions in check. He's a force on the floor.
And Kevin, that's the key. When he's focused on the game and not the refs, he is almost unstoppable.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And the Warriors, guys, what jumps out to you in this game stats-wise?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Well, it's all about the rim protection because it's been fantastic. A big part of helping them build this early lead.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for the Celtics, Rozier and Brown in the backcourt. Aaron Baines out there with Horford, and it's Hayward in at small forward. Now, here's Green. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Kevin, your drive and attention to detail were phenomenal. How do you deal with rookies who were largely uninformed? They were maybe not as receptive to the attention to detail that the elite like you pursued.
Well, one of the things I would do if I saw a guy who wasn't as keen to detail as I was, I would pull him to the side. I would show him, you know, some of the things I would see. I would get, you know, some dialogue with him and what he was seeing, and then try to get him to see what I was seeing as far as the point I was making. And then, you know, challenge him a little bit to be a little more present within certain things and then apply it. I don't believe in shouting. I don't believe in embarrassing someone. I like to always, you know, grab some of the young guys because the young guys don't have all the confidence yet. So I'm trying to build confidence with the young guys. So,
Good point.
So
Good point.
You know, when you get them one-on-one, you're able to, you know, have an intimate conversation and they have full, you know, they're engaged. They're engaged. They're talking to you.
Yes.
And that's what you want. So, you know, with that, I've always found it better to go one-on-one to the side and find it to be a lot more efficient.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Draymond Green is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he remembers his motivation. They said I fell in the draft because what position would I guard? I'll never forget that. I'm comfortable guarding any position. When I'm playing against big guys, I battle even harder. You have to prove a point. I won't be a pushover. Kevin?
Yeah, he never backs down. Thanks, David. And Boston has possession following the score by Golden State.
You gotta love how Brown finishes strong, driving fast and hard to the cup for the rim-rocking Shazam.
And it's Cook with the ball for Golden State. It's a 5-point game. Up next for them is the Pacers in Indianapolis. That will conclude a 5-game road trip for them. And taken away by Brown. Down low, here's Rozier. And Looney sends it back. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. Take a look at the Warriors, earning the first place position with a terrific record. And we've seen them perform splendidly pretty much all season long so far, and they're definitely the team to beat. And, of course, Denver, sitting directly below them, just one spot down.
And for the Warriors, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
Yeah, Greg, already the focus has started to turn to the postseason and what they need to do to make a run at the championship.
3 on the clock. Count that one. Green's got his second bucket.
Well, this is what Green gives you. I mean, versatility, size, a competitive nature. He's a vocal leader out there on the floor.
And, Kevin, you were drafted back in 1995, straight out of high school. You ever wonder how your career might have been different had you played some college basketball?
When I look at college, those are people that are going to, if not prepare themselves for something else. I was doing the same thing at a rapid rate, doing it through college.
Very accelerated rate.
Very accelerated rate. Where people was getting in 4 years, I was probably getting in 6 months, if not 3 months, and had to understand and articulate it. Then I got to block out. I got to understand what all that is and how finance and economics work and how it affects me. And now I got to strategize from when I'm going to do certain business moves throughout this whole season and be able to talk to an owner and talk and negotiate and go back and forth within a certain timeline. This is all stuff that you don't get in a book. This is all on the ground. You got to learn it, and you got to have a passion for it. You can't sit back and let somebody do your job for you. You got to know what it is. To be able to teach someone something is elite to me. So, you know.
And it was a process, and you enjoyed the process, though, right? Because you were a sponge. You absorbed so much as from a person watching you go through all this.
Kev, I'm a student.
Yeah.
And you know me. You've been knowing me since I was a kid. You saw my growth. You saw when I struggled. One thing about struggle, you always have a chance to do something about that. I like to think that in life you have a choice. It's what you do and how you do it. And I've always wanted to be a person of quality. Always wanted to be a person of class. You know that. And I'm a professional, and I was taught that you don't get to pick and choose when you're a professional. And I like to think that I've learned through my mistakes and I've applied the stuff that I've learned through my mistakes. Some of the things I'm teaching these young guys, some of the things I'm talking to these young guys about is just simple experiences and how I messed up. And if I could do it over, I would do it like this. And if I could talk to, my parents, and I have parents like your parents, I would sit down and I would say this. Relating to these young guys, understanding these young guys, understanding, period, says a lot for everything, bro. That's what I've learned through all of this.
And what about the quick hands of Cousins? Sure, he's an offensive juggernaut, but he also keeps his eyes open for steals as well.
Back to Smart, hangs, and that's 2 points on the layup. Smart's got 4 points this quarter.
Ball control, body control, and a nice touch. All the ingredients you need for the reverse.
Iguodala finds Curry. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry. And a look now at the Boston Celtics' upcoming schedule. On Monday, they'll host the Brooklyn Nets. And then on Wednesday, they'll host the Charlotte Hornets.
And for that game against the Thunder, it's going to be an all-out battle. And you just hope they are rested and able to execute their game plan, as it's going to be a tremendous challenge.
And Baines kicks to Smart. The pass to Morris. Over Green. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. Warriors leading by 7. And the type of leader you are, Kevin, the idea of coaching must have crossed your mind at some time. Am I right or no?
Oh, no. Listen, I like to think.
Too much?
You know what? You have to have a certain patience with coaching. Mm-hmm. I like to think of myself as a teacher. I like to think of myself as being able to articulate certain things about the game, having a high IQ, being able to translate that from, how I'm thinking to showing you. Those are the things that enthusiastic about, some of the stuff I want to show about. I don't have any enthusiasm about being out here, X's and O's, drawing up a play. That, man, being a coach is a huge responsibility.
And if they couldn't match your intensity, I'm sure that would frustrate you as a coach, right?
You have to understand that not matching my intensity, but getting a goal done. How you go about something is your way. As long as we're here to reach the same goal.
Yes.
I can't tell you how hard to do something, but I will hope that you would do it hard enough to where it was preventative or however hard it took to reach the goal. And, I've always said that if I'm able to teach someone and get them to work with me, I would hope that they would put some velocity in it in the hopes in which I win at it. That's the only way you got to go at it.
Well said. Your rep coach checked in for the Warriors. Kevin Durant comes in for Andre Iguodala. A nice shot by Irving.
Lighting up the scoreboard all night. I mean, Irving's showing the versatility and his persistence.
Curry outside, hits it from three-point range. Curry's got his third bucket of the night.
And look, the D has to be talking out there. They can't make threes that easy for him.
Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Oh, wonderful anticipation. He reads the play perfectly, then with the quick reaction time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. Well, so much great defense has come from the shooting guard position over the years. And here's a rundown of the players wreaking havoc at that spot this year. In the third spot, Marcus Smart.
And this is a very intense group. I mean, those steals don't come by accident. I mean, they've gotten them through the effort, and they're willing to expend that kind of energy on that aspect of the game.
Yeah, Greg. This is the kind of active defense that these guys play. It requires a lot of stamina, but they don't have an off switch. They're all effort all the time.
The putback, it's good on the putback.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Jerebko with it. Guarded now by Morris. Jerebko dishes to Durant. And Cousins kicks to Curry. And the foul on Marcus Smart. That's his first foul. Now here's Cousins, guarded closer. A rebound by the Celtics. Morris has got his fourth rebound in this one. From 12 feet out, Smart misses.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Offensive rebound. It's good. Jerebko's got the lead up to 10 now for the Warriors.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I tell you what, it's like football, having a 3rd and 13 and them running up the gut. It just frustrates the defense. You have to hate giving up second chance points. It's demoralizing. After basically, I mean, you had to stop.
Shot clock at 5. Celtics passing it around. Tatum, that's for 2. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here.
And with the moment, let's check out some stats for Thompson. A wonderful string of games he's put together here lately. 6th in three-point field goal percentage. And he sits in the top 15 in points per game. An absolute powerhouse offensively.
And back to his efficiency from 3, as you said, he's top 10 in the league. Defenses are now trying to deny him the basketball, but really to no avail. Warriors leading by 8. On the wing, Thompson. Cousins, the pass to Thompson, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That's his first foul. Al Horford, he's checked in for Boston. Now here's Cousins. 17 points for him last game against the Wizards in Washington.
Don't forget his rebounding work, too. They couldn't contain him on the glass.
Celtics trail by 10. Outside Irving. Morris looking over the floor. In the corner, Smart with it. Just 5 on the clock. Over Thompson. No good off the front iron.
He may have missed it, but that's a clean look at the basket.
Cousins finds Curry. Over Irving, and it's Golden State with another.
You can't take Curry lightly inside. He's not the biggest guy, but he's exceptionally crafty.
Irving against Curry. Outside Irving. Cousins pulls it in. Cousins has got 5 rebounds tonight. Durant up top, guarded by Tatum. Durant kicks to Curry. Pass to Durant. Over Tatum. Now Cousins. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. And that's now 7 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh, you love the confidence of Cousins. His ability to rise up and toss up a shot as soon as he gets the ball is tremendous.
And we want to thank Kevin Garnett for joining us, giving us some perspective. KG is always great, and thank you. You've given us a lot to think about with your comments tonight. Thanks for coming by.
Okay, Hall, man, I hope I was able to help, man. You know, thank you for letting me be part of it.
You took over the broadcast.
Not even, man. I'm learning.
You took over the broadcast.
I'm learning from the best, K. Keep doing it, man.
Love you, buddy.
My dude.
And Chris, one of the things that's really cool, getting to watch KG develop as a player and now develop as an analyst.
Well, it's fun. Having gone through the position where KG is, I know that it's not as an easy transition as he's making it look, but he has knowledge of the game. He is definitely one of the best defenders of our era. He's a winner, and so it's great to hear his insight anytime you can.
Some changes for Boston. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Marcus Morris, and it's Brown in for Smart. The Warriors also with a sub. Livingston's checked in. Here's Horford.
And while Horford can space the floor, I like him getting inside and using his strength to force the issue.
The Celtics have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
2.
That free throw missing. Boston making a switch here. Rozier's checked in. And the Warriors also making a change. Looney's checked in for Urebko. And he's good on the second. 27 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Curry kicks it to Looney.
Durant.
The dish to Durant. To the inside, Livingston. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant. Durant's got 3 assists now in this one.
Now look, an assist like that gives Durant more hyped than any other play he makes. He loves creating an easy bucket for a teammate.
No one near Rozier as he lets it fly. Boston again missing. And so it's the Golden State Warriors holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Steve Kerr and Coach, what is the offensive approach going to be in the second half?
Well, we just have to do what we do, move the ball and wear them down with our ball movement, our cutting, and our spacing, and set better screens, all the usual stuff.
Yeah, it always seems to work out for you in the long run. Thanks, Steve. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. 1 half down, another half to go. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. A tremendous start for Kevin Durant. He had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the 3-ball.
And that'll do it for us. The third.
Welcome back to Boston, the buildings of the financial district visible in all their glory. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
Terrific first half on offense. This is how you draw it up. We'll see if they can maintain that efficiency going forward.
And on the floor for Steve Kerr as we get into the second half. And it's all 5 All-Stars out there for the Warriors. Curry, Clay, Durant, Green, and Cousins.
He's one of today's great clutch performers. That's Kyrie Irving. Look, think about this. In 2016, Game 7 of the Finals, he hit the pivotal 3 with just 53 seconds left. And that's just the most famous of his end-of-game accomplishments.
Here's Morris. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. Shoots over Cousins. Morris with the bucket. Morris has got his first points of the game.
When Morris gets free from mid-range, he's very effective. Love seeing him getting it going from there.
Curry attacking. Jacks up a 3. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Durant's got 4 assists in the game.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Now here's Irving. He's got 14. Morris, left side, shoots over Curry, misses off the left iron. And so Cousins will bring it up for Golden State. 19-point lead, which is the largest margin in the game. Outside for Durant. Back to Green, shoots a 3. He can't hit that time. And the Celtics going the other way now. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. And they've been enjoying this long homestand. That will be game 4 of 5 in a row at home. Now, here is Morris. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. 4 on the shot clock. And Morris throws it down.
Morris really rises up for these jams, leaving no mistake as he finishes with authority.
Warriors leading by 17. Pass to Green. Thompson outside. Fades. Again, Golden State.
You see the high shot release, the quick trigger? Thompson's always had this shot in his arsenal.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Chris, there are a lot of players offensively in this league who do certain things, just the nuances that create contact and draw fouls and get themselves to the line, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. When I think of fouls, I think of James Harden. If I was a big man in the league today, I would have nightmares about this guy because he gets to the free throw line almost upwards of 10 times a game. His Euro step, his way to put his elbow up, he baits you to reach in, and then there's a presence of mind to be so quick that once you put your hand in the cookie jar, it's like your little brother telling you, "Ma," and you get in trouble. And that's what he does. He makes sure that the ref sees you getting that contact, you getting the foul. And how about DeMar DeRozan, what he does and being so strong attacking the hole, and DeMarcus Cousins inside using his big body in the post. Those come to mind the quickest, using their skill set to draw fouls on other players, because there's an art to it.
Warriors leading by 16. And Cousins kicks to Green. Back to Cousins. Passes it to Curry. Back to Cousins. Over Horford. Here's Green. That's tipped.
Unbelievable rejection from Smart there. Really using his insane vertical to send that one back.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
And you see he's not worried about what's on the scoreboard. He just wants to go ham each possession.
And Irving gets it to go on the assist by Morris. 16 points for Kyrie Irving.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Curry dishes to Durant. Kicks to Thompson. Shoots it up. And he hits the jump shot. Thompson's got 9 points.
Oh, that's just a good decision right there by Clay. Gets a little space, takes it himself.
And here's Irving. He's got 16. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. One of the premier scorers in the league, Irving still may be underrated by some as a playmaker.
Oh, Kyrie, come on, tremendous court sense, vision. I mean, he understands to win in this league, you have to be unselfish, but you know he can get it going at any time.
First free throw is good.
How about this? 3 titles in 4 seasons for the Golden State Warriors. Can't tell me they're not a team of destiny. And for the rest of the league, a formidable obstacle to the O'Brien Trophy.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Iguodala comes in for DeMarcus Cousins. And Cook subbed in for Steph Curry. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And when you look at this Warriors super team, Chris, how long you think they can keep going like this?
Well, let's think about this. Durant and Steph are just turning 30. If they can make the salaries work, which would be tough, but if they can make the salaries work, another half-decade of dominance seems possible.
Now, here's Green. He has 6. Here's Iguodala. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
You got to give the D credit there. It affected him. He didn't have much room to get the shot off.
Morris with the bucket. Morris has got his 3rd basket of the night.
How about the strength of Morris, shrugging off the D and nailing the shot?
Ball's knocked loose. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Jason Tatum.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
The Warriors have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. He hits both from the stripe. When you were playing on the road, obviously the fans would yell things and, try to get under your skin. C-Webb, do you remember any instance when it really bothered you and took effect?
Maybe when I would go home and play for the Pistons, I'd see some fan in the green and white, and maybe Steve Smith, my partner, paid him to be there. But, the Michigan State fans, the gold blue or that type of thing. Or in Ohio, it's very funny, in Ohio, if they want to boo, if they want to get the crowd pumped up, all they do is put a big Michigan M up there and the crowd will go crazy and boo. So Ohio, usually my people at Ohio State and Cleveland, they always, had something to say. No, but it was more like, you suck, Ohio State is the best, Michigan State, you should have come here, that type of stuff. And you kind of look back, give a guy a wink, knock her down a jump shot, and put your fingers to your lips and just say, shh, you don't want to get me upset. Let sleeping dogs lie.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That's his first foul. The NBA has cracked down on flopping. It's still part of the game, but C-Webb, would you agree that progress has been made in that area?
Yeah, I think so, and I'd like to blame a lot of my European players for bringing that over, along with soccer. Soccer with the flopping and that, and we've kind of taken away. And I know a little bit about flopping. We had some floppers on my Sacramento team, and so flopping is frustrating. You don't want to see that. You want to see guys earn it. This isn't soccer or football, and so I think the league has done a very good job, whether it was trying to find guys early or just embarrass you and say, hey, you're acting a fool. Get up right now. No one touched you. Why did you flop? Or act like you were hit and move 10 feet back on the side. I hate flopping. But then again, you must embellish. You must be a good actor. You've got to put the referees in a tough position to make a good call. How do you find that balance? But I think the NBA has done a good job of making sure that it isn't encouraged and isn't rewarded.
And it's the Warriors with the ball. Following the miss by Kyrie Irving. Goes up on the wing. The shot by Thompson, no good. Celtics trail by 19. Brown outside. And there's the call on Durant. That's foul number 2 for him. Rozier, he's checked in for Kyrie Irving. Jerebko's checked in for Golden State. Hayward looking over the floor. 6 on the shot clock. 13 feet away. That's good on the jump shot. Hayward's got his second basket of the night.
And with a guy like Hayward, I mean, you can forget the analytics. The mid-range jumper, I mean, it's a good shot for him.
Durant against Hayward. Durant with a terrific move and bucket. Durant's got 18 points in the game.
Well, he's reason number 1 there in front. I mean, his shooting has been almost flawless.
Rozier the pass to Hayward. Brown kicks to Hayward. It's stolen by Green. And oh, here we go with Green. Nobody back. And a wide open look for Iguodala. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got his 3rd assist on the night. And here's Rozier. He brings it up for the Boston Celtics. He dishes it to Tatum. Here's Baines. 9 points in the game so far. And the basket by Rozier. Warriors leading by 20. Cook kicks to Green. Back to Cook. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. And some changes here for the Warriors. Kevon Looney is checked in for Draymond Green. And it's Livingston in for Kevin Durant. So it's the Warriors now. Now Livingston. Just 5 on the clock. Over Tatum. Again, Golden State.
Oh, and this is where Livingston makes his money. Tremendous mid-range game.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Tatum on the wing. Back to Brown. Over Iguodala. And it's off the back rim. No good.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Here is Cook. Rozier defending. Cook kicks to Jerebko. Brown against Iguodala. Shoots over Brown. And it's Iguodala missing.
Well, he's having a tough go at it so far this quarter. Not much dropping for him.
Brown the pass to Rozier. Dishes it to Tatum. And it's Iguodala with the rebound.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Livingston with it. He's got 6. Back to Iguodala. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It goes on Jason Tatum.
Look, he runs, jumps like a gazelle. Iguodala, a special person and athlete.
And you look at Andre Iguodala, the first ever player to win a Finals MVP without starting a single game in the regular season.
That tells you something about his unselfishness and, at the same time, his under-the-radar impact on winning. His willingness to accept that 6-man role right from the beginning, I really feel helped set the tone in that Warriors locker room.
And the first one drops.
Oh, he turns it up. And though Iguodala has become a long-range shooting threat, he still managed to struggle from the line.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State, DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Urebko. And Stephen Curry subbed in for Cook. And Iguodala drops them both. The Celtics have gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. Hayward kicks to Baines. Brown outside. Celtics passing it around. Clock at 6. Rozier against Curry. And that's good. Terry Rozier for 3. Rozier's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Oh, beautiful looking 3-ball from Rozier, really expanding his range.
Cousins against Hayward. Now here's Cousins. He's tightly guarded. Now here's Livingston. He has 6. Second chance shot, and Cousins gets it to go.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Boston's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Rozier the pass to Hayward. Here's Brown. The Warriors pull it in. There's 39 seconds left to play here in the third. Livingston finds Cousins. Back to Curry. Iguodala outside. Now here's Cousins. He's covered closely. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And some changes here for the Celtics. Horford comes in for Aaron Baines, and Marcus Morris subbed in for Tatum. And so it's Hayward with it. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. And here is Rozier. He's got 5. Hayward right side. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's the Golden State Warriors riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on a platter, and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness. This is how you run an offense.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Down low, it's Morris and Horford. Rozier and Brown in the backcourt. And it's Hayward in at the 3. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Now here's Iguodala. No good with the elbow jumper. Brown kicks to Rozier. There's the pass to Morris. On the wing, Brown. It's been a few years now since rules were put into place to curb the hack-a-shack strategy. See, Webb, do you think the NBA made the right choice in discouraging that style, that tactic?
You know, Kev, I'm torn on this one. I don't think so. I do think that the game would have gotten ugly, the pace would have gotten bad, but I think it would have been only a couple of years as players would have been embarrassed enough to improve their game. As I travel to different places, the one thing that's the difference between the United States and other places they can shoot free throws. Other places, they just aren't at the park dunking or hanging on the rim. They're actually shooting shots and skill sets and dribbling. And Yeah. You know, I was at one time a terrible free throw shooter, and the embarrassment of not making them, missing them late in the games, not being able to be there for your team the way you want to, oh, trust me, it's no better motivation than that. Not giving me a handicap and a crutch saying, oh, don't do it. I don't like the fact that they've tried to place a curb on the hack-a-shack strategy. My thing is get you in the gym in the offseason and make some free throws.
Here's Looney following the basket by Jaylen Brown. It's good.
Now, you got to give Curry credit. It takes a lot to throw him off. That was a great move inside.
For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Cousins against Horford. Hayward passes to Brown. Shoots over Livingston. And it's Brown missing. Warriors leading by 22. Inside. Howard down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
Amazing floor awareness from Cousins. Skilled at spotting the open man.
Rozier against Curry. That's tipped. Now here's Iguodala. Tight defense on him. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
You can't pass up a shot from such short range.
Rozier kicks to Horford. Pass to Hayward. For a long time, beat writers and media personnel have determined NBA awards. C-Webb is someone who's been up for some of these. Do you feel the voting system as structured now is fair?
I don't know how it can be fair if it doesn't have any players or coaches involved. You know, I can't necessarily vote on the best doctors because I don't know what it entails, but I can definitely trust other doctors to give their comments on their peers. I think peer awareness is some of the most reliable that you can go for. But, I mean, we have some very knowledgeable writers, sports writers, and media personnel that know. But for the most part, you need help of the players and the coaches to make sure that the integrity is there.
Smart's checked in for the Celtics. Kyrie Irving comes in for Terry Rozier. Green, he's checked in for the Warriors. Thompson comes in for Sean Livingston. And some changes here for the Celtics. Daniel Tice is checked in for Horford. Williams comes in for Morris. And it's Ogilvy in for Brown.
One shot.
I mean, so many things Green does well. Helps tie the team together, especially on defense.
And so it's Irving with it, bringing it up for the Boston Celtics. C-Webb, a big rule change. Defenders have to give jump shooters space to land. Your thoughts on that?
Great. Thank you. Think about if a guy is hot and you can't stop him, you should not be able to embellish with the rules by sliding your foot up under a guy. If we all remember, I believe that San Antonio was up a couple of years ago on Golden State at home in Game 1, and Pachulia inadvertently put his foot up under Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi was injured. You have to give shooters space to come down. You can't be thinking about that on the way down. We don't want players injured or hurt in this game because of a lack of paying attention to detail, and I think this rule really helps it. Defenders have done it for years. It could be viewed as dirty, but I'm glad the NBA did something about it. I'm very happy about it. And check this out. I'm going to see a lot of guys knocking down even more threes now.
Now here's Irving. Smart passes to Tice. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And a moment here to check out who the Golden State Warriors have coming up. They'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. And then on Thursday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Philadelphia 76ers.
And for the matchup with the Lakers, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
The first free throw is good. We know that stars, especially superstars, get some level of benefit from the refs. What do you think of that? Is that good for the game?
I think the refs should always be fair. I think, yes, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt if you're a James Harden and you can cross everyone over and you get 10 free throws a game. He earns those most nights. But, yeah, it's going to be some nights in which he gets a call or two here because as an offensive player, you want to be so aggressive that you put the referees in a tough position to make a tough call and to see what that was. Fans want to see the best players play, not sit. So you have to be judicious with how far you go, but just sometimes slip in the tendencies. I used to get so mad when all I would do is go challenge a shot. The human kickstand would kick his leg out. The ref would say I fouled him. I didn't foul him. And the best actor in the world would get to go to the line, get a 4-pointer. And, okay, Caleb, what was the question again? Stars. Oh, superstars getting.
I don't know. Let's stop. Let's stop.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Curry.
Well, Steph Curry, widely regarded as the best shooter in the history of the game. He's been so successful playing point guard in the NBA at times. I think we forget that he transitioned from playing shooting guard in his younger days.
Both good from the line that time. You know, Greg, a lot of players can't make that switch from shooting guard to point guard. You've got to give Steph a lot of credit.
He's worked tirelessly. I mean, we've all seen those pregame ball handling drills. He's still prone to a careless turnover or two, but on the plus side, he rebounds like a shooting guard. And today's point guards are expected to score much more than in days past.
Now here's Curry. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Pass to Ojale. Last year, the NBA moved the trade deadline to before the All-Star break, C-Web. Did you like that decision?
It caused teams to make trade decisions much sooner, and I like that. But I don't like the fact that maybe if, let's say, I'm a fan of Utah Jazz, and you trade the player that we love so much, and he's an all-star, and I can't root for him as a Utah Jazz fan. So as a fan, it gets a little bit tricky because that's still my player, and I want to celebrate with this guy at the All-Star break, but maybe I can't. But I think that what it does is it makes the teams much more competitive because no longer can you sit back and wait and have the time you could before to think as much as you could. Now you have to make a decision on who your team is, the identity, and do you want to get better now or take the risk now? And I think it's put some teams on the hot seat, and I like seeing teams on the hot seat having to make decisions quickly.
Cook, he's checked in for the Warriors. He makes 1 of 2 that time. The Warriors have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. Here's McKinney. And the Warriors can't hang on to the ball. Jerebko's checked in for the Warriors.
Make a play, come on.
Now Irving. Passes it to Ojale. Back to Irving. Count it. And with that basket, he's now 9 of 15 from the floor.
He's going to get it done all over the floor, outside, inside, mid-range. Irving's their man.
To the middle. Here's Evans. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And they're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
That's good from Evans. When you look at the amount of threes Chris being taken now, do you think the league as a whole is too dependent upon the perimeter offense?
I don't think so. If you look at Golden State, we all tend to think that they've shot the most threes last year. It actually was Houston.
Right.
And when you look at how Golden State does not just settle for threes, Kevin, but they can shoot them at any time. And maybe the best three-point shooter in the history of the NBA, Curry, will lay a difficult layup over the top of your head just as quick as he'll shoot a tough three from 45 feet. That's what it seems like, but the good teams like a Golden State make you feel like they're shooting a lot of threes, but actually play with a balanced game. Those that try to copycat and just shoot threes, I don't think they've won a championship yet. So I think it's about having that balance, and maybe the league overall is shooting too many threes, but the champions who shoot threes, I don't think take too many.
And he makes the first.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here is Cook. Now the pass to McKinney. See, Webb, there was a time when athletes spoke up about societal issues and they were simply told to, just stick to sports. That is no longer the case.
Basketball was built on players speaking their mind. The one thing about the game of basketball, whether you're from Serbia like my friend Vlade or you're from Detroit like me, it's an urban game. And you cannot leave the problems of urban society just because you were blessed with the talent to play basketball. And so many of us speak up on societal issues just because we made it doesn't mean that our friends and family are out of those situations. We're not in a bubble in which we don't see how those issues affect us, our family, or our friends. And so just because we're blessed with basketball abilities, sporting abilities, does not mean that we're exempt from the problems in society. And if we have a platform and can speak out, why not? And I'm very proud of what guys in the league has done, whether it's LeBron James and his scholarship program, or whether it's Chris Paul and others, or Steve Kerr speaking up for societal issues. For me, it's refreshing, but it also is in the lineage of the greats that started this game in basketball, speaking up for the voiceless.
Well said. Well said. Here is Bell. Marcus Smart picking up that last basket. Evans, right side. Back to Bell. 4 on the clock. They get a hand on it. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And some changes here for the Celtics. Al Horford is checked in for Daniel Tice. Marcus Morris comes in for Williams. And it's Jason Tatum in for Ogilvy. Irving with the ball. Horford finds Irving. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. 24 points for Kyrie Irving.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Make it 5 for 10 with him in that bucket.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
Chris, the last few years, talk of expansion has come up. Are we ready, you think, in the NBA to add some more teams?
I think we are. Now, expanding to 32 teams might stretch the talent a little bit thin, but I think we could handle a couple of years with that because of the youth of the players, and it could actually switch it up a little bit. I mean, come on, Kevin. You like me. You're a big basketball and big sports fan. You know we have to have a team in Seattle.
I would love Seattle. Absolutely.
I mean, come on. You know how crazy those fans were. You know we have to have that come back. And then there's some places. Think about how great Oklahoma City is.
Yes.
And how they've just embraced this Thunder team. There might be a couple more places out there with that type of passion and fans saying, listen, if you give us a team, we promise we'll nurture it, take care of it, and root for it the loudest. And I like having that. I think it's time to definitely investigate expansion, but we got to get back to Seattle first and foremost.
And here is Irving after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry. Irving against Curry. Outside, Smart 5 to shoot. Green with the block.
And what Green lacks in height, he makes up for in heart. He's such an outstanding shot blocker.
And Cousins gets it to go.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open, and it's too difficult of an adjustment to make.
Horford, no luck.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Back to Curry. Chris, in football, you have the franchise tag. It allows a team to keep the superstar by delaying his free agency. Would that work in the NBA?
I'm not sure if that would work in the NBA. It would be what else would reward this player in the franchise tag? Does it allow freedom for other players to come? I think that we're going to have to address some of these issues as time goes on, especially in a place like Golden State where they have so many great players there. But one of the great things about the NBA is the freedom of movement, and I don't think that we've seen really any teams get hurt too bad by the superstar leaving if they've acknowledged he's going to leave and made a trade for him. It is when that they don't acknowledge, a la Orlando with Shaq, a la a couple of other teams, they don't acknowledge that this guy may leave, that you truly end up with nothing. So I'm not sure about that franchise tag yet, Kevin. The NBA is doing great. Players are moving around, and we're going to need some other teams to combat the dominant team overall.
That's good from Stephen Curry. Steph Curry, of course, a two-time MVP. If there's one area he can still improve on, though, Chris, I think Coach Kerr would say it's limiting his turnovers.
Well, we forget Steph was a shooting guard up until his final season in college. I mean, he made incredible strides as a ball handler, but that recognition of what passes to avoid still developed.
And both free throws good for Curry.
It's hard to believe that some teams passed on Curry in the 2009 draft. I mean, this guy is the total package. He has a winner's mentality.
Now, here's Horford. Here's Smart. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. C-Webb, if there were ever a player where stats did not tell the whole story, it would be Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I mean, if you look to his line every night, you'd think he was just another role player. But Smart, he's a difference maker. Tough, physical. I mean, he makes winning plays.
Shooting two, gentlemen.
And the first one drops. Each team has one inactive player per night. Would upping that amount, you think, C-Webb, of active players on game day change anything at all?
I don't believe so, because the inactive player we're talking about usually is at the bottom of the roster. And so if you look at the next man up theory, that means that the last guy on the bench at that time, it's his time to get that playing time. So I don't think that the inactive players would change anything, because it's still a team sport, and those guys earn their playing time in practice. And so that guy at the end of the bench is still one of the greatest players in the world and can contribute at any time.
Now here's Livingston. Evans outside. Jerebko kicks to Livingston. The tray. He doesn't hit that one. So the Celtics will take it the other way.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Warriors.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And so now on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Kevin Durant.
Wow, he owned this game. He never stopped working. He did it all for them, and you can't help but admire that kind of effort.
Now, here's Jerebko. Back to Curry. Over in the corner, Cousins. Good, and Curry gets the assist. 15 points here for Cousins.
His mid-range game shows how far Cousins has come. He's so much more than just an inside threat.
Smart passes to Williams. There's 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter. No good from Irving.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That just shows you can do everything right sometimes, but still get the wrong result.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
At this point, it's just icing on the cake. Terrific run, closes it out.
Now, here is Irving. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Look, Irving is one of the fastest guys in the game. Sensational at drawing contact on his way to the rack.
First one falls for him.
Now, the learning curve for point guards in the NBA can be pretty steep, but Irving was a quick study. It didn't take him long to become an elite player.
And so Irving nails both of them. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Livingston finds Cousins. Back to Livingston. Knocks it loose. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Smart. .15 seconds left in the game. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. And he makes both free throws. Here's Irving. He kicks to Smart. And slam dunk by Smart.
Are you kidding me with that pass? Okay, Kyrie, that one made my day.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were